Hello, and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual hosts, Ben Porter,
Oi.
Charlotte Porter,
Hey.
and me, Josh Hartley. Ben and Charlotte are back.
Hey.
And we are recording for the first time in the new studio.
The new studio.
Yeah, in the Ashenhold Art, the fortress, the forge,
The
of Ashenhold Art.
Yeah.
So, how's things?
Yeah, things have been a blur
Chaos.
these past couple months. Yeah, chaos.
Not in the good way.
Is there good chaos?
Yes.
There's good chaos.
No,
I like a little bit of chaos.
there's
I
only
thrive
order.
in chaos.
You guys are getting settled into the new place then?
Well, we're getting there. I mean, it's, as you can see yourself, and you cannot because this is a podcast. We've, as we look around, we've started getting things into some semblance of order.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I had the very exciting job of putting additional sockets into the studio.
You live for that.
I don't live for it, but yeah, it's
Sorry, you made a living doing that.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
So,
It's something I can do, and it's to be fair, it's a very useful skill.
mm-hmm. As has been proven.
Saved myself a packet
Mm-hmm.
doing it myself as well, I dare say. So that's not all I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing a lot of painting,
Yes.
lots of painting.
Let's have a chat about that. Yeah, how's it all going?
It's quiet at the moment, which is to be expected given there's no events or tournaments on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of plugging away at a couple of commissions I've got on the go, one of which may or may not be for another member of the Unlucky Frog crew.
Charlotte, you've commissioned your husband to paint new models.
He's charging me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, too, right?
for shame. For shame.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
No one ever believes me when I say
I
that.
believe it was the Joker that said that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've been chipping away at a couple of commissions. I also have I've launched a Patreon, where I will be. I'm doing rather than just putting little extra things of whatever I'm doing onto the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
I decided it would be cool to make the Patreon its own thing, so that people know for sure that they're getting something special.
Yeah.
So I've called my Patreon the Ashenhold Art Creature Feature.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind it is I'm taking animals
Mm-hmm.
and using them as references for painting models, because George Lucas once said, and his advice is a lot better than the dialogue that he writes.
Good job.
He once said that good science fiction always has one foot in reality.
That's true.
So to bring a bit of believability to my miniatures, I try and use real world references.
Yeah.
So the one that I've done most recently is I took the Corvus Cabal Shrike Talon, and I adapted the colour scheme of the Kookaburra.
It's really interesting. I've read the article. Definitely worth a read.
Yeah, so there's a full breakdown if I've painted that on the Patreon. That's the first in the series I'm planning to do. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve, guys, for other animals and things that I'm going to use, and hopefully I'm going to start doing some videos and things. And I was thinking I might actually do a couple of field trips for reference hunting. I thought that might be of
Go to the
interest.
zoo.
Yeah,
The zoo, not to Australia.
not yet.
Well, maybe.
Not yet, but yes, I'm planning a wee trip to the zoo at some point.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah,
At the zoo.
And you do have a giveaway on at the moment.
I do. Yes. So
And the prize,
the prize
coveted
is
prize.
the prize that you can win is I will paint one infantry character of your choice to your specification.
What would you have done, Charlotte?
Just a guy on foot.
I'll have a guy on foot painted.
Cool.
You're the worst, Charlotte. Charlotte would probably have like a sorcerer or something.
Do you know what? This was my fault.
As you can tell, painting and things is not my my area of expertise.
Your wheelhouse, as I
That's,
believe the.
I've got my husband for that.
Yeah. But you're learning about the process.
Yes, I'm learning about the process.
Because you're helping me with the social media and stuff. So.
But we'll put a link for the giveaway. All you need to do is like and comment on the post. So we'll do that, and you're in with a chance to win a customised painted miniature.
Yeah.
That's not all you've been up to. You've been doing some work for FauxHammer as well.
I have. Yeah, and you kind of helped me out with the most recent one, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a tough experience.
Right. So I get sent a copy of Direchasm to review for FauxHammer, which is the most recent expansion for Warhammer Underworlds. And it was interesting getting back into it because it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, I think we were both saying, like, at its core, it's still a game that we really like.
Yeah.
I think you point this out in your review. There are some things that could be done better, but I think ultimately they're like nitpicky things. It's still a great game.
Yeah, I'd say.
The miniatures in this version are phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I feel like this year, Games Workshop have been knocking it out of the park, because I know, like, because we've started some of our like Game of the Year discussions. More on that later. But
nice foreshadowing.
Yeah, but you're pretty adamant about Indomitus being like the best sort of miniatures release of this year.
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is, so many amazing stuff.
Largely from Games Workshop.
So much amazing stuff came out this year.
Largely from Games Workshop, because they're kind of like the only company actually still really doing stuff apart from Wizards of the Coast.
Because apparently there's a pandemic.
Aye. That's had an impact on several areas of our lives.
But like, if you like thinking, like looking back, like this year, you had like Lumineth Realm Lords, you had Indomitus, you had the new Gargants, you've had new Warcry, new Blood Bowl.
Yeah, new Blood Bowl looks great as well.
It's mad the stuff that they've churned out just this year. Right at the start of the year, you had Ether War, which is the new Caradron Overlord. It's weird to think that was part of the same year. Now, I don't know about you, but like stuff that happened in like January, February feels like a separate timeline.
Yeah, it was the before time.
Yeah, so I was going to say the before time.
Yeah.
And we could do things like go to the office and restaurants.
Go to the cinema.
Yeah. Damn.
Let's face it, we never went to the cinema. I don't know.
To be fair, no, I didn't really go to the cinema.
See, how much they charge for a cinema ticket now?
But it's the fact that I might want to go to the cinema.
Well,
yeah, don't have
this
the
is
option.
it. It's now that I can't.
I
I'm
want to
outraged.
go.
Do you know what annoys me? Right, things that Ben hates. New
section.
Yeah.
Here's a thing that Ben hates. Here's more things that Ben hates.
It's things that Ben hates. So one of the things that really annoyed me this year was Christopher Nolan's new film Tenet.
He really wanted it to be released in cinemas. Yeah.
Get over yourself, Chris. Right, there's two reasons that annoyed me. Right, first and foremost, there's a pandemic on. Okay. You want people to risk their lives to see your film. Your film is not that important. Okay? Second thing is get with the times, man. All right?
Yeah.
So, like, you would think with him being, like I understand he's an artist, he needs to make money, but he doesn't need to make money that much.
I do wonder on the first point whether it was more his intent that he wanted it to be the first film that people can see when it was safe to see films, because it was kind of in that weird point where we were like, we don't really know how long this is going to last.
At the same time, though, this is the guy that does not allow chairs on his set because he said that if people are sitting down, it means they're not working.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that about the chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. So horrible person, and I feel like the.
What happens if he needs to shoot a film with? He needs to shoot a scene with chairs. Do all the actors have to method act?
They just squat.
You just see the little vein throbbing in his temple.
That's why Leonardo DiCaprio always looks so intense. And
Because he's not sat down for 3 months.
Yeah.
He's forgotten what a cushion feels like.
Well, for Inception, that was the film he was in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
Because he does look very intense in that.
Apparently Tenet was terrible as well. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah, I kind of see what the whole like Christopher Nolan films thing. I think he peaked at Inception, and that was it. Like, what good films has he done since Inception?
I would argue he peaked at The Dark Knight Rises.
I prefer The Dark Knight.
The point
They're both good.
Yeah, the point is like the Batman films.
Yes,
The point is, they're not Tenet.
they're not.
They're not Tenet. So yeah, that's rant over about Christopher Nolan. Horrible person who is completely removed from reality.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Directors could be prima donnas too.
Who knew that Hollywood directors were completely removed from reality?
Well, there was that other director, wasn't there, that started making comments about the guy's flat?
Did you hear about that?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
The full story is that they were like doing video interviews,
Yeah.
It was like an audition.
and he made some sort of comment about the guy's flat, but didn't realise he wasn't on mute.
Yeah, it's like these
Wow.
actors, they all live in these tiny box apartments. And then the guy's like that, I know I live in a small apartment, that's why you need to give me this job so I can get a bigger one. And the guy was like, oh my God, I'm absolutely mortified.
Definitely not mortified. That was the worst acting that happened that whole day.
Yeah, that guy. They reckon they know who it was.
Oh, no, they do know who it was? Matthew Vaughn. Yeah,
Yes.
that's him.
Yes, Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, nice baseball cap. Why is he wearing a hat all the time? Is he bald?
He produced Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, and all those type of films.
It doesn't explain why he's wearing a hat.
No, he's got that sort of. I'm a
quirky director.
Yeah,
Look at
that's kind of what I'm
me.
going for.
Look how bohemian I am. My pork pie hat and my bonnet.
This is how we feel about people who wear trilbies, isn't it? All over
Oxbridge
again.
wanker.
Yeah. Cool. People are awful. What other horrible people do we want to talk about on this week's episode of horrible people?
Like, a lot of this stuff's come to the fore because of this pandemic, right?
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So people always talk about these kind of events, like the triumph of the human spirit and how people really band together. A lot of like older people talk about the spirit of the Blitz and all that. I think you really see how horrible some people are in these. Kind of things.
Is it not a bit of both?
I think it brings out the best, but it also brings out the worst in people.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got a polarizing effect, right? Because the NHS be incredible, right? And
Mhm.
like some incredibly selfless stories you're hearing about that. But basically, you look at the way a lot of rich people are behaving during this, right? That's what a lot of it comes down to. Like the same, Jeff Bezos, if he was to pay every member of staff $105,000,
Mm-hmm.
he would still have the same amount of money as he did before the pandemic.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Mental.
What a time to be alive.
It's brought out the worst in me. I've been a dick throughout all of this.
Well, we didn't want to say anything, Josh, but
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
You've just been eating takeaways and playing RPGs. That you've.
Yeah.
It's like,
Horrible person.
living the life, really.
Living my best bachelor life.
living the dream.
Yeah. What were we talking about before we went on this rabbit hole?
Why did I start ranting about?
I don't know. You just sometimes start ranting about Christopher Nolan.
Did I rant about him a lot?
Yeah, there has been a couple of times, yes.
Few instances.
I think
No, we were talking about things that you can't do anymore.
Yes.
And you said, why did we mention the cinema? And you said, well, actually.
Yeah,
I seized upon an opportunity to. Anyway, we're talking about Direchasm.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
Fun game. Great minis.
Don't play it with Christopher Nolan.
Don't play with Christopher.
Because he won't let you sit down.
I would.
You have to play it standing up. How am I supposed to keep my cards hidden? We're both standing up.
I bet he sat down. I bet he sat down all the time and sat as well.
I bet he's really had like an extended director's seat, so he's just slightly higher than everyone else. You know.
Mm. And he argues he's not sitting down, he's like perching because he's
poised like a coiled spring.
It's like one of those sort of standing stools you get, which is just like literally somebody to lean against.
Yeah.
I think you'll find this means I'm more ready for action.
Yeah, you go, all right, okay. But the people that work for him must hate him.
And have legs of steel.
Guys, it's happening again. We're talking about Christopher Nolan again.
Oh, damn it. Maybe this is what he intended.
Yeah, Direchasm. Focus on Direchasm. I had her okay. No. I'll say this properly. I played badly, but I did also have some horrendous bad luck.
Yeah, you did
as well.
Because it's interesting you checked yourself there, because this is something we've talked about quite a bit recently. Mm-hmm. Is there's a tendency when games go badly to blame luck.
I hate that.
But then when you win, it's because of your
my superior skill.
Yeah.
Well, when we played, what was the game that we played? The Warcry expansion.
Catacombs.
Yeah. There was absolutely no way, and I knew almost right from the get go.
Oh, it's pretty much a shout-out for you.
Yeah. Right, because the mission, the objective wouldn't. And so I was
at the same time, though, there's still an element of playing the odds, right? Because your leader wasn't present, I was like, right, time to clean up. So I went really aggressive because
was this a fun experience for you, Charlotte?
It was and I knew right from the get go that I probably wouldn't be able to make much headway. What I did really enjoy about Catacombs was that I was able to block you off with some of the terrain, which gave me a little bit of an advantage.
There's a really interesting sort of mini game within Catacombs where, because you alternate setting up pieces of terrain. You do this thing of like, do you set up the terrain to convey an advantage to yourself, or do you set up the terrain to try and hinder your opponent, or are you trying to do a little bit of both?
If I hadn't done that, you probably would have just walked right over me.
Yeah.
Because my
two fighters.
My two strongest fighters didn't even make it onto the.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they were just like running around being mowed down.
Nice.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Nice.
It was also the fact that because you played the K-Knight Shadow Stalkers, who are like the nimble elf guys.
And I have to say, I really enjoyed playing them.
Yeah,
I did really like playing them.
But saying that to say that, I feel like if it'd been the other way around, where I was trying to attack the center and you were holding it, it might have been a different game, because you've got all your ranged weapons and my guys aren't as fast. So.
Yeah.
I think definitely a lot of things landed in my favour.
Yeah.
So there's an element of you did have really bad luck, but luck's an element of all of these games, right? But you still need to have the perception to see, oh, things are looking quite bad for you, so I'm gonna try and capitalise on that.
I think there's like the other thing as well. I don't know. I don't like blaming bad luck for losing. I feel like I'm effectively saying to my opponent, you had nothing to do with that. I
hate that. That's one of the things. And I've said this again and again. I hate it when somebody says, oh, I would have won if I'd done this. And it's like, well, no, because you don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, in response. Yeah,
I had that at a tournament once. It was a game that I played that ended in a draw, because it was like a mirror match.
Yeah.
And my opponent said, well, I had such as if I had done such and such, then I would have won. And I'd be like, how do you know that? They'd be like, because you couldn't do this. And I just said, well, I think you're overestimating yourself there.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest
He
things...
did, and like he was like kind of flabbergasted at that.
I think one of the biggest things that does, I suppose, gets ignored a lot is adaptability. Because you need to adapt to, yes, there are people that have a linear process where they think, I'll do this. Almost like chess, where you can see it sort of working out in front of you. But the minute somebody does something that deviates from your plan, you need to adapt.
There is a theory that the guys that tend to place high in tournaments for games like Age of Sigmar and 40k are the most adaptable.
Oh yeah, because you need to be able to do that.
That seems to be the number one thing of like what separates a tournament winner from someone who's a good player.
Yeah,
is their ability to adapt. Because I remember reading, it was an interview with Ben Johnson, who's one of the designers for Age of Sigmar, and he knows a guy, Jack, who just won 3 tournaments back to back. And the thing that he'd said was that he always has a plan. He's never relying on just one thing to happen for him. There's always a contingency plan, and it's back to what you were saying about adaptability, being able to pivot and readjust mid-game. That's crucial, I think.
Because it's important to be able to think ahead, but you need to be able to deviate from it as well.
Yeah, I think if you're relying on one thing happening, you're kind of placing your fate in the hands of luck, really, aren't you?
Which is the worst strategy in the world is hope, right? I hope this works, right?
Yeah.
And Lady Luck isn't always your friend.
Nah,
she seldom is.
Well, this is it with like Magic the Gathering, and it looks there's a fair degree of luck in Magic the Gathering, right? But at the same time, still usually the same kind of faces you see in like the top 8 of the major tournaments.
There's a great quote, I can't remember who it was that said it. My dad's going to be appalled at me because he's a huge golf fan, but there's a golfer who, in an interview, someone was saying about how lucky he was.
Oh, this is the more practice, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
Is it not Tiger who said that?
I don't think it was Tiger.
Nah.
You should apply that to the rest of his life.
It was. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was well known for being able to get the ball out of like wicked bunkers and things like that. And that's he says, isn't it funny? The more I practice, the luckier I get.
That's true.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's. I mean, you obviously practicing for a tabletop game is quite different from like a competitive sport, but the same thing applies. You do need to practice. You need to go over theories and strategies, and the more you do that, the luckier you get.
It's also as well, I think, prevalent in stress management. The more you practice and become prepared for something, the less stressed you're going to get.
I remember doing like the couple of times I've done Grand Prix for Magic the Gathering. It's exhausting.
Mental energy.
You get through to like the first. I never made like a day 2, but I was getting close to the cut, and like getting close to the cut is nerve wracking. Every game matters.
There's a really interesting article that Edge did a number of years ago. I'm sure I've mentioned it on the podcast before, and it's about flow. And it's like neurologists study all of this, and you see it particularly with like esports, but you get it with like competitive sports as well. Like when you talk about someone being on fire or on a roll, and they've actually studied brain patterns and all that. So like there is like a science behind this idea that you get into this zone. It's really interesting, and it's like you must see the same thing with like the Magic the Gathering players. These people playing competitive high level, but the example they cited in the article was it was a Street Fighter tournament a number of years ago, and there's this guy had like a sliver of health left, but he just went off on this guy. He came back and he just absolutely leathered him when he came
Amazing.
back from, and it was this, like, he just seemed to go into like this sort of trance state where he just, it's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what you guys have been up to.
I got really deep, didn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
Unexpected.
Covered everything from Christopher Nolan to the science of flow.
That was a wild ride. Wow.
Felt a bit like a Christopher Nolan film.
What's the plot twist at the end?
It's not M. Night Shyamalan, come on.
He does that a little bit.
You reckon? He doesn't lean on it as hard as Shyamalan.
No, he does not. Who does?
I don't know. What do you reckon the plot twist would be?
There isn't a plot.
That's just the happening. Oh, spoilers for the happening, guys.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the happening.
I recorded with the Giant Brains Brainwaves
Oh yes, you did.
earlier this week.
With Cran from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But that's the wrong brain.
Oh, sorry, was it Ian?
Brainwave, Ian from Brainwaves.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
sorry guys.
Ian, Jamie, and Ian from Unpopular Mechanics as well.
We should get Cran on the show sometime.
Krang.
Krang? Is it Krang?
Does he
Pardon
still
me,
do?
it's-
Does he
I think it's
still
Krang.
do? Yeah, it's Krang. I'm on first name terms with him. Does he still do like public appearances?
I don't know. Did you not get
Ian
new
or
body?
Krang? Can we just, who are we talking about now?
I've not seen anyone else. Maybe he stopped doing public appearances.
I think Ian is Krang.
I've
I
never
think
seen.
that's
No,
the twist.
no,
That's
hold
the
on,
twist.
hold on. Right, Ian is not a giant brain.
He's the giant brain.
He's the giant brain, but that is in as much as we are not literal frogs.
Right, so just to be clear, that so Ian is of the same race as Krang.
Ian is a person, like
And
you and
to
I.
be
You have
honest-
met him. We
Are you saying Krang's not a person? Because that's racist, man.
I don't know what kind of creature Krang came from. He's a brain.
Is
He's
it
a giant
Krang?
brain.
No, but he's not, though, is he? Because he's in the belt.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he's
he is a
big,
brain.
He's large.
Yeah, I suppose he is. Maybe we wouldn't have said he was a giant brain. We said he was
Guys, I
a big
recorded a
brain.
podcast with Ian and Jay, and it went really well. It was fun.
Good.
All right.
It went better than this. It went better than this one.
No, it was cool. It was cool. It was. So we did like a retrospect of the year that was 2020. I was actually like, I didn't say this.
Was
to
it
them.
just the three of you sitting around? Like,
Four of us? There was
Four,
Ian from
Did you-
Unpopular Mechanics as well.
yeah. Jamie doesn't count because he's not human.
Wow.
What is going on today?
Meow. I don't know where that came from, but
So,
Jamie, I'm so
If
sorry.
Ian is Krang, does that make Jamie Shredder?
Well, Jamie's definitely got the better end of this deal.
Yeah.
Like,
So what does that make Ian then? Is he Rocksteady?
and or Bebop.
Yeah.
yeah, because they're like one entity, aren't they?
Right, guys, can we
Yes.
please stop trying to assign Ninja Turtle villains to the various members of Brainwaves, please?
This is a serious podcast, okay?
No, it was. That's the thing, because there were some heavy subjects to talk about in 2020. I have to be honest, like, Ian had sent out like these show notes before we recorded, something that we never do.
No.
Maybe-
Our
it's fine.
listeners will all be surprised to hear
Yeah. And I'm reading through the subject, and it's like obviously coronavirus interrupting everything, Kickstarter unionizing, Black Lives Matter becoming
that. Of course,
prominent.
that was messed up.
Yeah,
They
right.
fired a load of people, didn't they?
And I'm reading through all of this, and it's like, well, this is heavy. This is, but I mean, one, it was a pleasure recording with. It's always great hanging out with those guys and catching. It was fantastic to catch up with them because I don't think I haven't spoken to them in.
It's kind of weird that Ian
ages.
has no arms, you know, but
Right, enough. Enough. We love
Right.
Ian. We're not making any more comments.
yeah, I'm not holding it against him, but
Well, because he has arms.
Damn it! Stop derailing this. That's my job. That's my thing. But no, it was great recording with them, and now bear with me when I say this. I think I made some like good points. Yeah, I might sound like I know what I'm talking about in this.
You actually do. Josh acts the goat. That's the big twist.
And the unlucky frog.
Don't give that away.
Yeah, it's that
if people don't think that I'm an affable fool, I can't get away with all my nefarious schemes.
Yeah. So are you applying the sort of Jack Sparrow strategy to life, like where you pretend that you're the buffoon to sort of drop people's guard?
I think it's 50-50.
Yeah.
There's an element of me pretending. There's an element of me being.
But that is the.
That's Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Is he a roaster or is he a genius?
And part of pretending is acting, but it's also based in real life as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not pretending being you.
Guys, check out Brainwaves
for a serious discussion.
It comes out. I think Ian's shooting to release it the week of the 28th.
Cool.
So
Cool.
It'll be out shortly.
Excellent.
So
Looking forward to listening.
check me out on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We actually did some gaming as well.
We did.
Yeah.
On my birthday.
First time in how long?
Yeah.
Because
Months.
having an 18-month-old. 18 month old.
Yeah, let's go with that.
18-month-old is difficult stuff.
Yeah.
Difficult stuff because he refuses to sleep. He wants to stay up and play games, but we can't.
He wants to hang with the lads.
When it's 10:30, you need to be in bed. I'm in bed by 10:30. I can't be sitting up trying to, put him to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, rant over.
We played Chronicles of Crime.
We did.
I talked about my impressions of it, but what did you guys think of it? First,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The sort of cartoonish appearance belies the
I see that.
gravity of the game.
The only comment I made before playing it, I think, was that I felt that because the app was only on one phone, that then all the sort of investigation stuff would fall to one person. But I think we managed to.
I think the idea is that you pass the
it
phone
around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
you can run it off of like a VR headset.
Yeah.
That's right, because you could do the. Yeah. I thought it was really exciting. I am very looking forward to going in again and finding out more.
I know.
I think it's a neat system, right? And it's an example of how integrating technology to a board game works well.
Yes.
Because if you didn't have that, you would have to have a bunch of source books with it.
Yeah.
A stack.
Well, it's like I suppose it would be like Holmes and Watson.
But you would need more because you need the
'cause there's
pictures.
too
and all
much.
The
that.
size of the book would probably be more like Tales of Arabian Nights.
Yeah, that's true.
And from the sort of sustainability perspective, you think how much they're saving on paper and ink and things like that. They're bringing the price of the game down, making it more affordable. So yeah, so I think on the whole, the app works. That's an example of an app.
Yeah.
Working really well for a tabletop game.
Yeah, like I say, I was very impressed with it, and I echo your thoughts. Like it was heavier going than I was anticipating, but it was still good.
I think for me that is based on the step up from the tutorial, because the tutorials kind of just
The tutorial's
through,
easy.
yeah. But even the story, the narrative in the tutorial isn't that gritty. I don't think it was it?
Someone. Wait.
Oh, it was actually. Yeah, I take that back. No, that was quite a gritty.
No, hold on. But in comparison to the first chapter,
Where do you get the from? It was a
yeah, the bridge.
about
30 minutes. Like someone like, geez, let's come on, guys.
We'll
Wasn't
need to
that
edit
dark?
that out.
What?
'Cause that's a spoiler.
spoiler.
It's for the tutorial.
Yeah, but you still want to experience the tutorial.
Okay.
We'll beep 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 beep.
Just a big long beep over it.
Do I do beeps or air horns? I'm loving the air horn sound effect. I want more excuses to use it.
Yeah.
So if we can say millennial drivel, more.
But
great.
I think to go back to the game, I think we were all not shocked, but
Taken aback.
by some of the themes.
The plot, it's ballsy.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah. And that was just the first one. We've still got the other two. And there's expansions as well, I believe.
Yeah.
I actually got a notification. Another one's been put up.
Oh.
Hey.
So I need to have a go
So
at
it
that.
looks as though they're still maintaining it, which is nice.
That's cool.
And this is the thing, right? Is because you've got the cards to all the QR codes on, you could in effect continue putting new stuff up.
Yeah,
for
you
that.
can just put new content on the app. You can pay for like an extra chapter on the app, I suppose. Like, easy.
Yeah, I wouldn't begrudge paying for extra missions and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a great system, and I've seen that they've actually started implementing it into other settings. Like there's a historical one. I think they've done a couple like based on specific IPs.
Oh,
Neat.
I don't know if I'm making that up. Let me get my app.
What IP would you want them to use for it? What would make it good?
Poirot.
Oh, like a proper Agatha
Midsummer Murders. Oh my word, could you imagine that?
You got really excited about Midsummer Murders there, Charlotte.
I just don't understand how anybody's left in this village.
No one is. Like, it's yeah. Poirot's a good shout, though, like an Agatha Christie style murder mystery one. That would be great, yeah. What would I go for?
So they've done a noir version.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Yeah.
And
I do love a noir.
They've done one called like 2400.
Oh, sci-fi.
Yeah, they've done a 1900 one, and they've done a 1400 one.
Oh,
get some medieval detective work on the go.
Yes,
these damn witches.
Exactly.
Right. So it's really interesting that they're doing different settings, but the idea of having them set in like established universes, that'd be an interesting one. Like I'm thinking like the 40k Underhive or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like the seedy underbelly of Coruscant in Star Wars, things like that. You could do some really neat stuff.
I don't know why. Like I'm just thinking of cartoons. Like I'm just trying to shoehorn this into some kind of. I was actually thinking Scooby Doo.
No, Scooby Doo is the worst.
Not this again.
Is this another thing that you hate, Ben?
No.
Yeah, I hate Scooby Doo. Because even as a child, it annoyed me how formulaic it was. It's just bad television, guys. And
But Ben, that was the 70s.
I know, but like, no looking through the lens of nostalgia can forgive how awful Scooby Doo is.
I can forgive Scooby Doo. Scrappy Doo, on the other hand.
Tell me you don't like Scrappy Doo.
I don't like Scrappy. Who likes Scrappy Doo?
There's a reason they made him the villain in the Scooby Doo film.
Yeah.
Spoilers, by the way.
We'll have to bleep that out. Yes, you just spoiled it for Charlotte.
He was a baddie.
Yeah.
It's not really good, I suppose.
Right, it's not Scooby Doo that I have an issue with, but Hanna-Barbera just thought to themselves, all right, we've got a formula that works, let's apply it to literally everything, and you get
space.
You get
prehistoric.
Well, the worst one being Jabberjaw, which was in some sort of dystopian society that lived underwater where sharks are criminalised. And Jabberjaw is a talking shark that travels with a rock band solving mysteries. His catchphrase is no respect because people don't give him any respect.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Yeah, it's weird.
Terrible.
When you had Josie the Pussycats.
Yeah. That was exactly the same formula as Scooby-Doo. The Funky Phantom, same formula. Captain Caveman, same formula.
The one that I was saying, obviously, about the prehistoric and the future one was the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
The Flintstones is based on the Honeymooners.
But basically, they just took Flintstones.
Oh, yeah, the Flintstones and just futurised it, yeah.
Why did we ever stop doing that?
Just making cartoons of regular TV
Cookie cutter
shows.
things.
Yeah.
Just like boop, boop, boop.
But they still do it.
Yeah. A little better at hiding it. But only a little.
Yeah. But we were talking tonight about how the golden age of Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Oh,
some great cartoons came out of that.
Mm-hmm. The reason why is we had we'd initially put on these new Mickey Mouse cartoons for Nathaniel, But Ben and I just ended up watching them. Like,
They're really funny.
3 hours.
yeah, that's. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had it on for a while. But it reminded us a lot of the Nickelodeon cartoons from way back.
Like Ren and Stimpy, Ariel Monsters,
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I forget that SpongeBob was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Because I never actually watched SpongeBob when it came out. I only ever saw it after the fact. I forget he's Nickelodeon.
He's older than you think.
Yeah.
It's got to be like the most memed show, hasn't it?
SpongeBob's up there. The Muppets gets memed a lot.
Yeah.
I think
Particularly
SpongeBob
Kermit the Frog. Yeah, SpongeBob. I'm not saying like
Yeah,
The Simpsons gets memed a lot as well.
that's true. It'd be interesting to actually like to work
survey that
survey the most memed.
Most memed TV shows of all time. I think SpongeBob could be number one. It's either that. It's going to be that or The Simpsons, right? I've seen so many Simpsons.
Yeah,
memes.
there are a lot. Like I saw one the Barney one today. Just took it to my veins. Is that like the Duff convention?
The one that I always use is the one when Homer steps back into the bush.
Yeah.
That's a good.
For me, it's Ralph Wiggum on the back of the school
I'm in
bus.
danger.
I'm in danger. Comes up a lot for me in my life, surprisingly. Guys, we've rambled for like 40 odd minutes.
Yeah.
Should we draw this to a close?
Let's wind it up, shall we? Let's
Okay.
land this plane, Ben. Let's land this plane.
It's been all over the place, hasn't it?
I know this is going to be great fun to edit and like do show notes for.
Christopher Nolan, The Simpsons.
Kind of reads a bit like a Christopher Nolan plot.
Yeah,
Wait,
crying from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ian, I apologise.
Commission pain.
It's been a wild ride. Have you missed it?
Roller coaster of an episode. And I hope you all enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah, it's good to have you guys back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Excellent. Right, well, on that note, we're going to... One last thing.
Oh,
Our next episode is the annual
Secret
Santa episode.
Yes.
So, in fact, we're going to record Charlotte's section separately right now.
right now.
Yeah,
And then
check it out now.
also,
Brothers.
we did mention earlier, and we foreshadowed it and forgot to come back to it,
Oh,
which is
nice save.
Give it a year.
we just we nearly yeeted that Chekhov's gun out the window there. We are going to be recording our Game of the Year episode in January, so we've played a couple of the games that we think will be of interest.
I think when we were shortlisting our different categories, right, we had lots of thoughts on the best miniatures and best expansion.
Yes, it's been a fairly slow year as far as releases go.
But when we'd asked the members of the Discord, there was quite a few suggestions that I've not played or hadn't heard of. So it would be good to get an idea. I don't think I've played any, well, apart from Catacombs. I think Catacombs is the only one that I've played.
Warcry, Catacombs.
Yeah. That's the only new game I've played this year.
Yeah, well, we've still got 1565 to play.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to get that done.
Yeah, which I'm quite excited about. We also have Tidal Blades.
Yes.
But if there's anything else,
That
dear
you've
listener, that you've played that you think that we should be having a look at, then do let us know. We're always interested to hear what you guys are interested in.
Hit me up.
Hit me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
I'm in a bit of a strange mood tonight, guys.
I can tell.
Yeah. I think I'm just a bit like hyper about being back.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Excited
That's
to be
nice.
back.
No, that's good. That's good.
Right. Are we now going to draw this to a
Yes.
close? Cool.
With Chekhov is satisfied.
Yeah, the gun's been shot.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you very much for listening. And until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.